Hello everybody and welcome back to another Canals Report tournament recap of Blast Pro Series Sao Paulo. The tournament took place from the 22nd to the 23rd of March and boasted 6 top-tier teams battling it out in an unusual takeoff on a round-robin format, with a cut to the top 3 after 5 rounds. The games began with FaZe vs NIP on Mirage. FaZe took the pistol round, but wasn't prepared for NIP to force buy the following round, and convincingly lost their economical advantage. Lack of preparedness would also be a good descriptor for FaZe's overall performance in the match, as NIP took an enormous lead in the first half and converted it quickly into a victory in the second half. FaZe losing it all could be considered a minor upset based on world ranking alone, but a 7-16 loss was not a good sign for the European squad. Next were hometown darlings MiBR versus a proven world-class ENCE on Train. ENCE got off to a strong CT start characteristic of recent high-level matches on Train, but as the first half progressed, it quickly became clear that it wasn't just strong, it was nearly insurmountable. ENCE had a 13-2 lead at halftime, and MiBR, despite a reasonable CT half, could not make the comeback happen and fell 16-9 to ENCE. Next up was a clash of titans between Astralis and Liquid. Liquid suffered an upset during the major at the hands of ENCE, but they're also the only team to have taken a match off of Astralis since November of last year. The game was on Dust 2, where Liquid came out of the gate with 6 rounds before Astralis put up any of their own, but Astralis equalized things shortly afterwards. In round 9, Liquid got 2 early kills, but Magisk brought it back with a 4K capped off by a quick triple on a B.
Right behind them, he's flanking in so quick behind the Liquid team, and this time he's not going to fail with the shot. The bomb has dropped as well, and Magisk, that's a great quad kill, triple at the end there, but 4 overall in the round.
Astralis took it all the way back to 6-6, but Liquid ended the half with the 1-round lead. Astralis looked like they had a better plan for their T-side though, and started to put together a lead after recovering from a loss in the pistol round. In round 23, Astralis were down 2 players on B, but set up a crossfire, allowing Device to close out a messy fight with a 3K.
You said they must win this. Naf setting up the grenade first of all. This Glaive with a headshot taking down 1. The follow-up from Magisk, and finally, but in return, the Molotov burns Magisk alive. 1 return there. Device 1-1. He's gonna get the kill as well. Absolutely ridiculous hold in a 3-on-5 and a triple kill for Device.
Astralis' strats proved to be too much for Liquid in this meeting, and they edged out a 16-13 victory. Following their match with Astralis, Liquid faced off against NIP on Overpass. Liquid wasn't interested in losing 2 matches in a row, though, and picked apart a lost-looking NIP with ease. In round 10, it looked like NIP might take a round off of an early 2-kill lead, but Elige had other plans, shutting the entirety of NIP down and earning an ace.
NIP though as well. They know that it's maximum 250 kills.
Oh, Elige! A double kill. Suddenly this round is doable, and oh so more. Elige tasked now to hold the site single-handedly, and he's done so with pizzazz. 3 frags. The one man keeps the site safe. NIP still looking disconnected, and now Forest, he's got no health to work with. And Lecro,
Why not a 4th?
even less. On for the ace, just Forest left. 1 bullet will do. Elige is hungry for it. Forest catches Nitro, he gets it. An ace from Elige, comfortably holding that site safe.
The rest of the match continued in similar fashion, as NIP were only able to pick up 1 more round before the game ended 16-3 for Liquid. Elige posted an absolutely incredible 2.71 rating 2.0 during the match, with a 32-9 KD and 173 ADR. Afterwards, FaZe fought MiBR on Nuke. In the very first round, Fur picked up a quick 3K tapdown on an unsuspecting FaZe clan, but the lone survivor, Nico, clutched 1v3 to complete a 4K.
And they're going to be falling back instead. Fur. Oh no! Knocking out both players. 1 more in there! Outrageous performance from Fur. They just lined up for it. That was purely robotic, wasn't it? Nico is alone, and with that P250, I mean, you don't want to underestimate him, but that is a shocking turnaround.
Here he comes, 1 versus 2. He knows where the bomb is, but so does Fur, who's just playing in CT spawn. I don't think Nico ever expects this angle from Fur. Can he complete 4? There it is from behind Nico. He spins, he has a chance. Oh, and he predicts the next one. A headshot. Oh, it's a follow-up. Nico's pulled it out of nowhere.
The pistol round victory allowed FaZe to win the next 2 rounds afterwards, but MiBR answered with a streak of 9 rounds before FaZe brought it back and snuck out of the first half with a 9-6 disadvantage. MiBR started off the second half with a win in the pistol round, but they went on to only win a single additional round for the rest of the game, as Nico and Rain led their team to victory 16-11. Next was a repeat meeting from the grand finals of IEM Katowice, Astralis vs ENCE on Dust 2. Astralis had a strong start on their T-side, getting out to a 5-0 lead before ENCE started to bring things back. ENCE nearly equalized the round count, getting to 6-5 afterwards, but Astralis ran away with the first half and ended with a 10-5 advantage. ENCE came out of the gate strong in the second half, reversing a loss in the pistol round and actually taking a 13-12 lead, but Astralis weren't out of it yet and won the next 3 rounds to guarantee at least a tie. ENCE won round 29 but couldn't secure the tie, and Astralis came out on top in a 16-14 finish. Device had a standout performance against the Finnish squad, top fragging and averaging over 100 damage per round. Next up was ENCE vs NIP on Nuke, and poor NIP, this was their second match in a row against teams that just came off a narrow loss to Astralis and were looking for someone to beat up. ENCE started off with a 10-0 lead on their T-side, and while NIP was able to win some rounds afterwards, they never managed to make it close, and the map ended 16-7 for ENCE. Following that, Liquid met up with FaZe on Cash, and the match started pretty similarly to the last one, with Liquid leading 11-1 after 12 rounds. FaZe got one more round than NIP did in the end, but that wasn't close enough to win, and Liquid took the map 16-8. FaZe did actually get more first kills than Liquid during the match, but wasn't able to convert off of the advantage, and a lot of those first kills turned into trades or worse. The next match was Astralis vs MiBR on Overpass. Things looked even at first, with the teams trading rounds back and forth for the first 8, but after the scoreline got to 4-4, Astralis went on an absolute tear and won the remaining 7 first half rounds, bringing the scoreline to 11-4 moving into the second half. What's more, they kept winning after halftime too. In round 18, MiBR had enough money for a buy and forced Astralis into a long rotation where coldzera was waiting to pick up some free frags. Xyp9x got a plant down though and clutched the 1v2 to keep the streak going for Astralis.
It's very hard to check this when you're coming out. He's definitely heard them. They're just coming out. They're not even checking. Get it cold. Easy double kill for him. And now he just has to wait. He doesn't actually have to win another fight here. 13 seconds. He does get down by dupreeh and Sip. Oh no, somehow picking up that kill. A bit of a battle here as Taco going to be able to take down dupreeh, and it's all on Sip now. 1 versus 2 inside of the bomb site. He can steal all of the dreams of MiBR right now in this round. He's the worst possible person for them to be fighting in this 1 versus 2. And he's just hiding inside. They've got him locked in. AWP on one side, M4 on the other. He's going to win the first fight. Goes for a second. Oh, almost gets it. Now the pistol down and Sip. Of course he does it.
Oh my god.
Outrageous. A quad kill to save the round.
MiBR finally managed to stop the bleeding once Astralis got to 15 rounds, but even though they chained 6 rounds together after that, they would have had to win another 5 in a row to take it to a tie. Astralis closed things out at 16-10, remaining undefeated in the tournament thus far and denying MiBR what would have been their first victory. Next was MiBR versus Liquid on Dust 2, and MiBR just could not catch a break in their home country during this tournament. Liquid got off to a quick lead, and the round gap just kept widening. One of MiBR's only rounds came off of the back of an admittedly very impressive op ace by Fur on the B site.
Flash and a frag. He's lost a teammate, but uncrouches straight into the chest of Elige. Ooh, and even Blind catches twists. Knows there's another man back in the tons. Dangerous shoulder peek, gonna cost them. That's the bomb carrier down. Nafly and Stewie all that remains at this point. Fur is just hammering.
Oh my god!
One after another.
That ace would turn out to be the last round MiBR won in the entire match, and Liquid completed their thrashing at 16-2. Up next was ENCE vs FaZe on Nuke. ENCE won 3 rounds after losing the pistol, but FaZe quickly evened it up afterwards. In round 8, ENCE earned the first 2 frags on FaZe, but Olafmeister managed to even things up with a triple kill on an unsuspecting ENCE.
Bit of a mistake, and it's going to cost them a lot, as you can tell. Adren now going down as well. Olafmeister spraying them as it falls down in front of him. A triple for him. That is way more than he should have had out of that one. Should have probably been traded right away, but they were just raining out of the sky. And
FaZe did win that round, but ENCE won the next 6, and the half ended 9-6 for ENCE. While ENCE had been having good T-halves on Nuke all tournament so far, they did their best to remind everyone why Nuke is generally considered a CT-sided map in the second half. They won the pistol round, and the next 3 after that, bringing the score to 13-6. The next 6 rounds went even between the teams, and FaZe would have needed a lot better than even to get back into the game. The map ended 16-9 for ENCE. After that was Astralis vs NIP on Dust 2. NIP would have a good reason to have a grudge against Astralis in this tournament, as they'd sent hitmen in the form of Liquid and ENCE their way twice already. Astralis was prepared for NIP's T-side strats though, and took a strong lead early on in the first half. It just kept getting wider too, and Device capped off the half with a clean ace on A.
Was timely, gets get right out of the equation, and now is there to catch them on short. That's one. They need to force him off. They can't. Forest gone 2. Not a third. Of course it is. Headshot only. He's playing deathmatch, and just Draken left. Of course he goes down. Device so powerful. An ace.
Astralis won the first 2 rounds after halftime, but NIP didn't want to be counted out just yet, and won 8 of the following 9 rounds, nearly equalizing their round disadvantage. Astralis didn't let the comeback happen though, and ended NIP's hopes of revenge 16-12. Next was MiBR vs NIP on Train. Both teams had been having a rough tournament so far, but this match proved to be a good one. MiBR had the lead for most of the first half, but NIP edged out an 8-7 advantage with a streak of rounds at the end of the first half. NIP won the first 4 rounds after halftime to get out to a 12-7 lead, but MiBR fought back by winning the next 5 in a row, including a coldzera ace.
Let's get right, that's important.
That's huge. Gets a few bats on that. He does. Catches Lekro, now 3v3. Problems starting to arise. Deep Molotov. Forest is going to go wide, and oh, coldzera, he's so low. Down to 7, but still kicking. Still fragging, and the bomb yet to commit. That's what's so interesting. They're pulling the CTs into the site, and coldzera's executing them. Bomb nowhere to be seen. They don't know where Draken is yet.
They're so worried about backstab with 2 players holding it. Cole just continues on.
It's an ace. Surely it's an ace. Rez the only man standing. Cole's got no health to work with, but that didn't stop him before. Bomb down now. He's got 4. He's looking for 5. He's going to catch a glimpse of the head as soon as he goes up on that ramp. Rez makes his appearance. All too clear, and coldzera, a couple of bullets left in the mag. It doesn't matter.
NIP got the better of MiBR in the end though, and the map ended 16-13 for the Swedish squad, denying MiBR a single win during the round-robin section of the tournament. Up next was Astralis vs FaZe on Dust 2, a popular map for the tournament thus far. Astralis showed that they were more than capable on their CT side against NIP earlier, but FaZe still managed to take a 9-6 lead at halftime. Astralis wasn't about to let an upset happen, though, and played a strong terrorist half of their own to an eventual 16-13 victory, completing their undefeated round-robin phase at the tournament. The last match of the round-robin also happened to be the play-in for second place, with ENCE and Liquid meeting on Overpass. ENCE showed their intent to repeat their performance at the major with a strong 10-5 first half, but Liquid answered in the second. They took the pistol round, and in the next, ENCE sprayed the entirety of ENCE down with an SMG to pick up an ace.
I still can't really make up my mind about that weapon, I'm not gonna lie.
I love it for nostalgic purposes.
Oh, fair enough.
It's a slaughter with ENCE with that SMG. Here we go. An ace, actually. He gets all 5.
An MP9 ace.
Liquid continued to bring it back from there, taking it all the way to 12-12, where Stewie barely forced a timeout with a blind op shot on Alexi B through the smoke as he planted.
Well, we're using a very funny angle, Naf. They might not immediately check this. Smoke does drop, that helps out Naf with 1 big kill. He can't follow it up, and that leaves it in a 2-on-2. Look at the time left. Oh, right in front. Oh, no, it goes right over his shoulder. And there it is. No bomb plant and no time. My God, I mean...
ENCE took the game to the wire, winning a 15-14 advantage and bringing the game down to the last round. Because overtime was disabled, ENCE had to win round 30 to get into the finals against Astralis, because Liquid had a better round count during the rest of the tournament. They couldn't quite make it happen though, and the game ended in a tie, putting ENCE at 3rd place and bringing Liquid to the finals to face off against Astralis. The finals match between Astralis and Liquid started on what other than the perennial favorite, Dust 2. Liquid took the first 3 rounds before Astralis answered with a Device 4K on A.
But the real challenge will be Device. Posted up with the op, drops Nitro first, hits the second shot. I mean, closing the distance and getting that bomb in is one thing, but you need the numbers still up because it's an inevitable retake on the line. Stewie 2K clears Magisk on flank, and now Device's bullets no longer hit their mark, so bomb does cross towards plant. They just have to creep and crawl underneath his scope. A very real threat in Device. But Alicia's got it in.
Cross back just as carefully, but look how scared they are of Device, and as they should be. A fantastic headshot through the box to really lock this one up. Stewie will have to go absolutely 8 mode.
The first half ended even, with the round advantage going to Liquid. Astralis won the second half pistol, and in the next round, ENCE picked up 3 excellent kills with the Deagle.
What do you possibly do to catch the other team off guard?
Deagle close. It's a bit of a... Straight from downtown, ENCE still... No way! A third one! And who else can deliver?
It wasn't enough to win Liquid the round, though, and Astralis marched things back to a 13-10 lead. Liquid didn't want to go out like that, though, and won out, taking the first map 16-13 in a mirror of their scoreline from earlier in the tournament. Winning Dust 2 seems to have taken everything that Liquid had, though, as Inferno started with a 10-0 lead for the Danes. Liquid started putting up a fight in the middle rounds, but they couldn't get more than 8 rounds, and map 2 went the way of Astralis 16-8. If Liquid was already tired on Inferno, then Overpass was where Astralis decided to lay Liquid to rest. The first half started with another enormous lead from Astralis, and while Liquid managed to avoid getting 16-0'd, they were never in contention to take the map, as Astralis took round after round to bring the tournament to a close with a 16-2 victory. That's going to do it for us in this episode. You can follow us on Twitter at Canals Report, and of course subscribe to us here to keep up with all the latest CS events and news. For now, though, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.